All right, here we are in the Kailua online study group and Resurrection in Progress, day 12. I think it is. We're getting to the point that it's actually the 12th of March. This time it's easy. So it's like the 12th day of the 40 days. So I'm happy that you're here and that you decided to join in the meditation to start with, and later on having an introduction to the tape 116b, the relationship with God and with each other, which is a great topic, great idea, great title to work with. And since we're all here, let's enjoy that to the most. But I'm happy that you're here, that you decide to join, and I'm making a recording of this, but it's great to be present here and hear everything and see everything. Of course, that's very nice. So the meditation I got out of the talk of today, and that's about the indivisibility of God. And so we're going to use that in the meditation. So first of all, it is time for us to really deeply go within. We dedicate this time, say the 40 days to it, but also like this instant, we use it to connect with what is real. And interestingly enough, that is not a natural thing to do as yet, even though you're completely connected. Even though there's no separation whatsoever, you're a whole and perfect part of God. So you don't need to make that, and that's important to know. So in our contact that we can have as the most natural thing for us to happen is in fact that you don't need to make it, you don't need to do it. But that appears to be a very hard exercise for most of us, to not do something in order to receive everything. It's really like that. And so the little instruction that goes with this then is to focus your attention not on your thoughts and not on your concerns and not on your physical ailments or whatever it is, but that you stand still and that you listen, and that you say, maybe put your attention on your breathing instead of anything else. So breathing deeply into your belly and gently but deeply, and then exhaling out a little bit longer than you used to, just to say, start and release of that. You will feel that it's like whoosh. Yeah, let it flow out of you. Like you don't need to make it, you don't need to hold on to anything. So you might as well just let it go and say, let it pass by as the clouds in the sky. So it's the comparison. It's like the metaphor of doing that. But if you keep that in mind, it can be easy to actually use that. So let it pass by as the clouds in the sky. Your thoughts, your emotions, your concerns, anything. See, then there's a possibility, by not knowing how to do this, that you just say spontaneously enter into an experience of connectedness, of communication, and that's great. It's great. That will convince you more than any reading of any books. It's like to come in touch with this deep peace within is everything. Like you only need to have like a little bit of a moment in that, and you will never have a doubt that it exists and that it is present with you. And that's so beautiful. So yes, we want more of that. We want to come deeply in touch with that, and enjoying that, breathing that in, and feeling that as our nurturing part. So God is indivisible. That's the title of it. God is indivisible. You can't divide God. God is infinite, but God is indivisible at the same time. The allness of God is in one tiny leaf, and the allness of God is in every tiny leaf. The allness of God is in every individual on the face of the globe. The infinite allness of God is wherever one individual is. One with God is a majority. One Christ is the infinite individual Son of God. One Christ is the infinite individual Son of God and shows forth all that God is. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. All that I have is thine. I'll read it once more. God is indivisible. You cannot divide God. God is infinite, but God is indivisible. The allness of God is in one tiny leaf, and the allness of God is in every tiny leaf. The allness of God is in every individual on the face of the globe. The infinite allness of God is wherever one individual is. And we're talking here about you, of course. The infinite allness of God is wherever you are. One with God is a majority. One Christ is the infinite individual Son of God and shows forth all that God is. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. All that I have is thine. God is indivisible. You can't divide God. God is infinite, but God is indivisible. The allness of God is in one tiny leaf, and the allness of God is in every tiny leaf. The allness of God is in every individual on the face of the globe. The infinite allness of God is wherever you are. One with God is a majority. One Christ is the infinite individual Son of God and shows forth all that God is. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. All that I have is thine. God is indivisible. You can't divide God. God is infinite, but God is indivisible. The allness of God is in one tiny leaf, and the allness of God is in every tiny leaf. The allness of God is in every individual on the face of the globe, and the infinite allness of God is wherever you are. One with God is a majority. One Christ is the infinite individual Son of God and shows forth all that God is. Son, thou art ever with me. All that I have is thine. All that I have is thine. God is indivisible. You can't divide God. God is infinite, but God is indivisible. The allness of God is in one tiny leaf. The allness of God is in every tiny leaf. The allness of God is in every individual on the face of the globe. The infinite allness of God is wherever you are. One with God is a majority. One Christ is the infinite individual Son of God and shows forth all that God is. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. All that I have is thine. So that was a bit of Paganini. So a romantic song from Paganini. Yeah, I wanted to have some great, beautiful music that I love to share. And this was what came up, and I love it. So thank you for participating and being a whole part of this meditation. And you see, the beauty of what Joel describes here is like what is given him to share is like the allness of God is in every leaf and in all leaves, like in every little bit of grass and in all grass. And, it's like everything with a spark of light is where God is. And that's a beautiful, say, metaphor and thing to remember wherever you go and whoever you meet. Like there's a way, and you're going to receive the key, and you have received it. Now you have to learn to use it, to dislodge, to literally open that up for yourself, to recognize it in everything. So in this meditation is just part of that, and can help you to find that place where you turn the switch. Yeah, Joel uses the word click a lot. So it's like, okay, see it as a key. There's a key given you. You just have to learn how to use it in order to unlock, say, the infinite splendor, to escape. And it's great. It's beautiful how Joel describes this. So today in the video or the audio that we're going to listen to, 116b, it is like the relationship between you and God. Like that's where we're talking about it, basically continuously. That's where it happens. Like apparently something happened in that relationship. And we're familiar with things that are happening in our relationships, right? So that might not dissolve right away, even though there's nothing holding you back from a full-blown relationship with God. But in your development, in your undoing, that can be a part of it. That takes a moment, and that you catch glimpses, but it's not continuously in your awareness that you're a whole part of it. So all this is used, even that is used by God. Every little step you make towards the recognition of your own light and love is going to be used. And I mean it like this too. It's like whatever you discover for yourself as a new experience of yourself, as an opening in yourself, or as a release of yourself, like where you really see that you lose control, literally let go of control or ideas, you see that even that is used in your awakening, that suddenly you can share this idea of that what you just went through, to share it with someone else, just because you received this for yourself. And that works so beautifully, and it's so energetic too. So you recognize this when you let go of a chunk of you, so to speak, when something was really bugging you and suddenly it's gone, it's healed. You feel that, so your energy level lifts up, like the frequency of your cells, so to speak, are increasing, are lifting up. And that, it's like that's being recognized. So that's immediately also being used in the extension of the light and love to one another. It's like in the process of uniting the sonship, like recognizing that all is one, that God is indivisible, that it's recognizable in everyone. It is still a matter of resonance and attraction. So the ones will come to you. Joel said this too. It's like, even if I'm in Hawaii, if I would have no plane, if I would have no boat, if somebody needed to meet me, it would happen. It's like that is so perfectly orchestrated in this great plan where we don't know of, but we're a whole part of it. You see that all this is being used, exactly that. And that is so comforting to hear that you're in the right place, in the right time, in the right development. You don't need to be somewhere else. You don't need to be more spiritually developed than you are. you just keep on, stay with the program, so to you stay in this undoing of you. And whenever you go through a release of an undoing, or having a revelation like that, will immediately also be used in this great awakening that we find ourselves in. So that's, to me, a totally comforting idea. Like, there's no pressure, there's no must do or have to do this, or there's not so much asked of you, but just to allow this process to happen to you, because it is being done to you, in the sense of you get all the help. You don't know which direction you would have to go, so that is a given. That's why it's so great to have the opportunity to be still and meditate and listen, just to stay with your, say, consciousness, to stay with what is actually going on in you right now, and what possibilities do I have to experience my communication with God. So these things are really something that you want to keep close to yourself. So that's the only requirement, really. It's like, stay with your practice. Have your moments of quiet a couple of times a day. Have your moments of quiet. Listen. Allow yourself to have your day be chopped into pieces time-wise. Just have relaxation moments. And that is, in fact, already sufficient. If you release some of your ideas in that moment, or be dedicated to your path, that is the only requirement. The rest is really taken care of. Like, yeah, so I love that. So that's an important part. I want to actually share some of the talk with you. I found a say, paragraph that I would love to read to you from the PDF that is the transcript. Now, he says, the world has cheated itself of the most tremendous experience there is in all life. If you think that there's something wonderful about a period of communion with your mother, your father, your sister, your sweetheart, your husband, your wife, you don't even know the beginning of the joys that take place when you achieve a communion with God. Believe me that then the world is well lost, and it isn't realized that it is possible to commune with God as literally as actually as we are sitting here in communion with each other. Okay, so I'll leave that for what it is. It's just Joel's expression. Now just think, if we were to be still, that is, if you could get me still for that long. And so everyone in the room laughs at that point, because Joel seems to be talking a lot. And just be at peace for 10, 12, 15 minutes without a desire for healing, without a desire for enlightenment, without a desire for health, just for the sake of enjoying the beauty of that outdoors or whatever is indoors. Then you would see the true nature of prayer, because that communion leads to the culmination of prayer, which is oneness. And in that oneness, there's no longer a communion, because there are no two. There is only one, and that one is God expressing itself, revealing itself, fulfilling itself. And in that period, there is the height of spiritual experience. So this is a great line. So you could read that in the PDF I sent you. So this is so lovely. It's like, you have no idea. If you think it's great to talk to your husband, or to your wife, or to your sweetheart, or to your friend, or to your, yeah, that's great too. Absolutely, undeniable. But when you start to directly communicate with God, Joel says, I can't describe it. You will have to experience it. But literally the world disappears when you do so. It's like there's no world at that point. Suddenly all that fades away. So, and that's nothing to be scared of. It is more like you're in the whole of the experience of God. Suddenly you discover there are no two, there's just one of us. And you want more of that, that's for sure. So I love that. And he combines it with the idea of the true nature of prayer, which is one of the basic principles of the infinite way, is the nature of prayer. Not praying for something, not even for healing, not for health, wealth, and all this fame, fortune, none of that. So if the prayer is free, then something can be revealed to you, like fulfillment reveals itself, oneness reveals itself, like all these things that you're actually looking for. All this is given you, very simple, coming from this stillness, and you not wanting anything, just being open and receptive, and maybe in high anticipation of what is coming. That's all right. So it's like it becomes so exciting to come to the edge of that you're like, oh my God, whatever is coming to me, I will just eat it up, so to speak. I will just let that come to me. So, and this is so exciting, and it's like this is where you are made ready for continuously. This is where there's a continuous invitation to enter into that with every moment that you become still and decide to dislodge from the world and have a moment for yourself. So can you speed that process up? No, not really, but at a certain point it is like you want to practice this. So you apply what the instruction is, you apply that more and more often, and you start to see that, oh, first I just heard this, and then I also start to really learn this, and I love to actually demonstrate it and apply it. And that is where something starts to happen. Like it's not just an idea any longer. No, I see it in action just because I'm actually doing it. I'm actually living that. And it is more like you think about it, about the choices that you have during the day. You think about that more often. In that sense, you train yourself to do so. It's like, let's not forget to give this away. Let's not forget to ask for it. Let's not forget to actually stand still in a couple of times a day, just for the sake of having a possibility for communication and dislodging from my associative thinking and thinking that I know something that could be helpful, because that will not come from my own ideas. It will not come. It comes from the shared ideas of us as one. It's like shared ideas, like it's a whole idea, an all-inclusive idea that you're actually going for. So you think with the mind of God. So I shared enough of that. That is great. So in fact, and this is also an aspect, like a big aspect of this tape, is this is all about, in fact, the principle of exchange that your mind is so accustomed to. You do something in order to get something. You do something in exchange for something else. And that is deeply rooted in the human thinking, of course. So he brings that back to tithing, I think it's called. So giving your monthly whatever to church, as it was in the earlier days, like giving so much a month to. But it's like to stay. It's great to give, that's for sure. But when you start to come into an exchange, forget it. That's not giving. Like what is giving? That's giving. You know what you give. If you give something in order to get something, forget it. No, you just want that to be given. And if you say want something back, then you actually don't give it. So this is great. So we will listen to the tape in a moment. I will play a song, and we have a little bit of a break, and we listen to half an hour of the tape of Joel 116b, the relationship with God and with each other. So I'll see you in a moment. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you.